And praise the Lord, everybody. Yo, it's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. I am privileged to pastor the City of Hope Community Church right here in the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana. And I am oh so super excited. I know this is unconventional. We usually don't come to you on a Thursday, but this is a special occasion. It's a special opportunity for each and every one of us. And I'm so excited to have you all in here on today. Do me a favor, if you get an opportunity, you can like, you can share, you can let somebody know that we are on here and we're about to have a conversation regarding the 10 types of grief. That's right. 10 types of grief. Now, there's more than 10. There's a lot of them, amen. There's a lot of different types of grief, but I want to focus on 10 on today. I see people are coming in this virtual space, in this virtual place, and I'm glad about it. We usually do Bible study starting off with a one-word testimony. This is not Bible study, but I would love to hear how you feel today. If you had to encapsulate how you're feeling today, how your day went. I pray it was a thriving Thursday, but if you had to sum it up in one word, drop that one word for me in the chat. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, however you're feeling today, what's that one word that would describe how you are feeling on today? What's that one word that would describe how you are feeling on today? Drop that in the chat, and while you're formulating that word and preparing to drop it in the chat, also, I want you to know if you know of anybody that is grieving, anybody that is going through, that has dealt with a loss or suffered loss, y'all tag them, text them, let them know that we are about to dive into some good information. I'm not going to hold you long tonight. I just want to be able to share this information with you. Come on, how y'all feeling today? Hey, Sister Deanne, much love. Sister Gilbert is grateful. I love it. I love it. I love it. We got a Facebook user who is awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Come on, Sister Verna Moore. She is blessed. Yes, you are, Miss Verna. Most definitely, you are blessed. Sister Patricia Thomas Harris. She is emotional. All right. All right. It's an emotional Thursday. My mother, Bobby Duncan, she is good. I love it. Sister Danielle Upchurch is encouraged. I love it. That's beautiful. Sister Alicia Sweat is good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sister Angela Bowman answered. I love that. I love that. Come on. If you have not had the opportunity, drop a one-word testimony in the chat, and we're going to get started in just a minute. As we said, we're talking about the 10 types of grief, y'all. This is so very important. This is going to be so informative that I hope and pray it is a tremendous blessing to each and every one of y'all. While we're doing that, while we're waiting on people to come in, First Lady, she's tired but favored and blessed. Amen. Do me a favor. If you've ever lost a loved one, drop one in the chat for me. If you've ever lost a loved one, if you've ever lost a family member, if you've ever lost a loved one, if you've ever lost someone, parent, a sibling, a child, a cousin, an auntie, an uncle, a friend, if you've ever lost someone, drop one in the chat for me. Drop one in the chat for me. Yep. If you've ever lost someone, drop one in the chat for me. If you've ever lost someone, drop one in the chat for me. I just want to make sure I'm in the right house. I just want to make sure I got the right people. I just want to make sure that we in the right space, we in the right place, we in the right vein. If you ever lost someone, I see another one. Everybody is dropping their one. Everybody's dropping one. I love it. All right. We are dropping it. 16 years ago. Yes. One. I love it. Y'all coming in strong. I love it. All right. Check this. If you've ever lost someone you love, drop one in the chat. If you've ever lost something If you've ever lost something that you loved, wasn't a person, but you've lost something that you love, something that was near and dear to your heart. I was about to shout out examples, but I don't want to jump too soon on my lesson. If you've ever lost something that you love, drop a 2. If you've ever lost something that you love, drop me a 2. If you've ever lost something. We know you've lost someone, but if you've ever lost something, drop a 2. It could be a pet, it could be a house, it could be a job, something that was near and dear to your heart. If you've ever lost something, drop a 2. Drop a 2. Something that you loved, drop a 2. Drop a 2. I love it. I'm just gauging the temperature. I just want to make sure I'm in the right place. I just want to make sure I got the right crowd. I just want to make sure I got the right message. I'm not preaching tonight. This is not church service, but I do want to have a candid conversation with y'all. I'm not going to hold y'all long. Thursday night football is back. I know y'all want to get to football, so I'm not going to hold you long. Yes, you've ever lost someone, you've ever lost something, you dropped it in the chat. Y'all, we're going to jump into this dialogue. We're going to jump into this discussion. If you got questions, please ask them. I promise you I'm going to do a Q&A at the end. I'm going to do a 15-minute Q&A at the end. I'll stay around as long as I can and answer whatever questions you may have. Let's jump into this. So we're talking about the 10 types of grief. Talking about the 10 types of grief. You may say, Pastor Duncan, where's this coming from? Y'all, I just been doing a lot of soul searching and a lot of evolving, a lot of growing. And I have offered for the longest, I don't do counseling. I've offered what I call spiritual formation. When people are going through, when people are dealing with issues, problems, troubles, trials, tribulations, I offer spiritual formation from a biblical point. But yeah, there has been so much loss over this past year, whether it was the loss of someone, whether it was the loss of something. Yeah, I wanted to evolve. I wanted to go deeper. And so I took the liberty to take a grief course. I wanted to become a certified grief coach, not counselor. I can't prescribe anything, can't diagnose nothing. I got the Holy Spirit now. He can give me some insight. You know, I can look at some stuff from a spiritual perspective, but not a licensed counselor, but a grief coach. And so I'm in the process of becoming a grief coach. Y'all actually helping me with this because there has been a lot of grief over this past year. We at this church, we've lost 4 members. We've had a lot of church members who have lost family members. And it hasn't just been people, but it's been things. It's been a lot that people have lost. And I really want to help y'all process today some of the things you may be feeling and experiencing and going through. So that's what we're going to do. So let's start here. First and foremost, the question is, what is grief? What is grief? Grief is a natural and normal response to loss. Plain and simple, grief is a natural and normal response to loss. Let me say it again. Grief is a natural and normal response to loss. And that's any loss. Whether you've lost something, whether you've lost someone, it's a natural and normal response to loss. There's nothing wrong with you. If you've lost someone, if you lost something, there's nothing wrong with you. Grief is a natural and normal response to loss. Let me say it like this. Have you ever been feeling sad and sorrowful and didn't quite know why? Have you ever cried but couldn't quite pinpoint what the problem was? Have you ever felt a shift or a change and knew that something was looming or imminently approaching? Y'all, this is so very important. The reality is you may be grappling with grief. Don't miss this. You may be mourning the loss of someone, something, or perhaps something that you had in mind. Something that you thought would happen that will no longer happen, or something that you didn't want to happen that now is about to happen. Oftentimes we envision how things will turn out. We envision situations, relationships, friendships, jobs, opportunities, possibilities, and dreams going a certain way. When those things turn and swerve and veer off course, deviate from the plan we had in mind, we begin to lose a grip on the cognitive concept that we once envisioned. I hope y'all following me. I hope y'all follow. This is the way God gave it to me. That we begin to lose a grip on the cognitive concept of what we once envisioned, the thing that we envisioned happening, the lifestyle we envision living. We begin to lose a cognitive concept. We lose the mental imaging of a reality imagined in our minds. This loss creates a tension between the perception of our idea and what's now actually and factually real. Trying to reconcile with our new reality and come to grips with it causes us to grapple with grief and mourn the loss of what we had in mind. Now, here's the question I need you to answer. What did you have in mind that has now veered off course? What did you have in mind that has now veered off course? For so many of us, we have in mind that we have this baby and we're going to raise this baby. They're going to grow up. They're going to go to school. I'm going to walk them to prom. Oh, it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a beautiful opportunity. I'm going to send them off to college. They're going to have a great birthday. I'm going to get a pony for their 10th birthday. That's what we have in mind. Then all of a sudden, things veer off course. All of a sudden, we lose the child. And what we had in mind, we are grappling with what we had in mind. Maybe it's not a child, but maybe it's a parent. And you have envisaged your father walking you down the aisle. You didn't know that he would be prematurely gone. Or maybe it was, and we're going to get into a lot of this in a minute, maybe whatever it was, you thought that your mother would always recognize you and know who you are. But that Alzheimer's jumped in, that dementia jumped in, and now you just had a grandbaby. They don't even know your grandbaby. They don't even know you have the time. So what you had in mind is no longer there. You find yourself grappling. Maybe you were at a job, or maybe you were at a church, or maybe you were in an organization, or you had a friendship, or you had something that you imagined things going this way, but all of a sudden things begin to veer off course and they went a totally different way. Look how we opened this up. Have you ever been feeling sad and sorrowful and didn't quite know why? Have you ever cried but couldn't quite pinpoint what the problem was? Have you ever felt a shift or change and knew that something was looming or imminently approaching? Have you ever felt, y'all, internally that here it is, that something is off? Have you ever felt this? I don't know what it is and I can't put my finger on it, but something is off. You find yourself crying for no reason and you're like, something is off. Why am I crying? Or you find yourself feeling some type of way. Y'all, watch this. More than likely, and you just haven't identified it yet, you may be grappling with grief. That's the whole purpose of this talk, y'all. We're going to jump right in right now because there's 10 things I want to show you that we want to talk about. Before we get to that, hold on. Let's do this. Nope, that's the end. Here it is. Here it is. These are 5 facts about grief. We're going to go through these 5 facts and we're going to jump into the 10. Number 1, the reason that we grieve is because we loved. The reason that we grieve is because we love. Whether it's someone or something, the reason that we grieve is because we love. Look at this quote. Grief is the price we pay for love. Ain't that something? Grief is the price that we pay for love. We love, and love feels good. It feels good to love our children, to love our parents, to love our spouses, to love our friends, our family, to love a job, to love that. And when you love it and you lose it, grief is the price that we pay for love. Look at Gary Rowe. Gary Rowe said we grieve because we love. The intensity of the grief often proclaims the depth of our love. Y'all hear that? We grieve because we love, and the intensity of the grief. It often proclaims because of the depth of the love that we had. And this is what you got to understand. 5 facts about grief. The reason that we grieve is because we love. Fact number 1. Fact number 2, the emotions of grief are normal and natural. There's nothing wrong with you. What you're going through is normal and natural. How you're feeling, how you're processing, how you're digesting, all of this is normal and natural. Number 3, 5 facts about grief. Your grief is unique to you. Please understand this, that your grief is unique to you. That grief is unique to every individual. That there's no standard operating procedure. There is no rule book. There is no one size fits all. Your grief is unique to you. It's amazing because we can share the same experience and yet have a totally different experience all at the same time. What gets me is if I say my father died and then somebody said, "Oh, I know how you feel." I did that once. I told somebody my father, "Oh man, I know how you feel because I lost my father." I said, "Was you and your father close?" Nah, man, I ain't even, we ain't even talk that much. Just that, you and your father hang out? Nah, not really. Was you and your father tight? Was y'all tight like this, son? Man, not really. So we've got the same experience and totally different experiences at the same time. That your grief is unique to you. Number 4, let's look at this. The way out of grief is through it. This is what you got to understand, that there is no shortcut when it comes to grief. There is no you cannot expedite the process. You cannot Amazon Prime your healing. Come on. You can't rush order your recovery. There are no shortcuts. You cannot get over it. You cannot go around it. You cannot get under it. Grief, you have to go through it. The only way through grief is through grief. That's it. I know y'all love Amazon Prime. Y'all got boxes at y'all house every single day. I know. You overnight ship. Amazon Prime 2 day. You cannot expedite. You cannot expedite this process. Y'all love Starbucks. You go to Starbucks, you go to order your app to pick up, and you could just go right in and just pick it up and walk out. Did it this morning. It was so super duper convenient. You cannot app order your recovery. You can't let me get one recovery and go and pick it up and take it out and you gone and you doing that's not the way it works. The only way is through it. Check this out, y'all. Number 5, grief can teach you something about life if you allow it. That grief can teach you something. These are 5 facts about grief. It can teach you something about life if you allow it. All right, y'all, let's jump into it. We got 10. These are the 10 types of grief. While we're talking about it and while we're going through it, I need you to be observing yourself. I need you to be assessing yourself while we go through this, because it's going to help you in the end. Come on, let's get to it. Number 1 is normal grief. And I already know you're saying, well, what you mean normal? You just said isn't all grief normal, or ain't it abnormal, or can you break that down? Yes. Normal grief, also known as uncomplicated grief, is defined by the American Psychology Association as grief that lasts 6 months to 2 years following the loss of something or someone extremely close to you, either in death or severed relationship. While there's a time period put to normal grief here, it is important to know that the definition of normal grief changes in various cultures and over time. Now, please understand this, that it changes cultures, times, different places, different spaces. Grief is going to change. The American Psychology Association came up with normal grief in this time period to say, and even though you can't tell people how long to grieve, this, that, and the other, that this is a researched amount of time that people should be able to process and digest what has happened, what has taken place, and be able to somehow in some way begin to move forward. You don't move on, you move forward when it comes to grief. So that's number one, normal grief. Let's get into number two. We just gonna run through them tonight, y'all. I just want to be informative. Anticipatory grief. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. I promise you I'll try to get to them. If I can't, we will do Q&A at the end. Anticipatory grief. What is that? Anticipatory grief starts before the event happens or the person passes away. Y'all see that? One trick, what y'all might want to do, because I know y'all not writing all of this down, get your phone and screenshot the slides, or I can even put the slides up on the website afterwards for you to get them, if that's going to help you or be beneficial to you. But anticipatory grief starts before the event happens or the person passes away. It starts when the terminal diagnosis is given, when the loved one, the friendship, the opportunity is put on life support, and you know death is imminent. Anticipatory grief means it hasn't happened yet, but the writing is on the wall. They're not dead yet, but the writing is on the wall. The spouse hasn't left yet, but the writing is on the wall. That you haven't got fired yet, but the writing is on the wall. They haven't diagnosed them with cancer or dementia yet, but the writing is on the wall. Yeah, this is anticipatory grief. That once again, it has not happened yet, but you see the writing is on the wall. Hence, we are anticipating. We're anticipating. They gave them 3 months to live. Oh, they're not dead yet, but it's the anticipation of it. Or they're having layoffs. Oh my God, they're having layoffs. I haven't been called into the office yet, but it's the anticipation of it. There was a shooting at the school, or there was the shooting at FedEx. Everybody was calling their loved ones. And out of everybody that was there calling their loved ones, y'all, I think it was 9 of them, 9 or 12 of them, family members, anticipatory grief. How come they're not answering? I should have heard from them by now. And there were some people saying the same thing, but they ended up getting a phone call. Oh my God, thank God you're alive. How come they're not answering? Are they dead? Are they alive? And it hasn't happened yet, but you're anticipating. Look at this. During this pandemic, you may have experienced anticipatory grief due to the unknown. What will happen? When will it happen? How will it happen? Y'all, look, this pandemic has given all of us anticipatory grief. We have waited with bated breath. We have sat and wondered, are we going to get infected? We have taken precautionary measures. We're wiping down groceries. We're being careful. Wear your mask. We wearing our mask. We're sanitizer. We're doing all of this stuff. And as soon as we get a little tickle in our throat or a little cough, we're wondering, and the scary thing about the pandemic, you don't know how the disease is going to interact in your body. Some people get it and they're fine. Some people get it and they die. It's the anticipation. It hasn't happened yet. But oh my God, I'm wondering what's going to happen. All of these layoffs, all of these, everything that has taken place. I'm telling y'all, when we first had to shut down, I was like, Lord have mercy. Technology, I don't know what we going to do. Financially, are we going to be able to stay afloat? Are we going to have to close our door? Oh, it's anticipatory grief. Look at this. Look at the bottom part. It is important to know that anticipatory grief is normal, especially when it is tied to a close family member or friend who will soon pass away. This is our body and our brain's way of recognizing and preparing for the inevitable. Anticipatory grief helps us to prepare for what is bound to happen. Number 3, disenfranchised grief. Disenfranchised grief is when you're grieving, but people minimize the significance of your loss. Yeah, and I know you're not a doctor, and it may be hard for you to. I just want you to examine yourself. You may not be able to diagnose yourself, but when you hear these different elements, there may be some things that you really latch hold of and take hold of too. So disenfranchised grief, look, when you're grieving, but people minimize the significance of your loss. Remember, your loss is a unique experience. And people may not understand why you feel the way you feel because it is unique. Your grief is uniquely yours. Some examples would be the loss of a dog. You lose your dog and you are going crazy. What dogs are for a lot of people, it's like a family member. And it's not, oh, well, Scruffy is dead. Go bury him in the backyard. No. This dog has been with us 10, 15 years. Other people may not understand that, or they minimize the significance of your life, which makes you feel some type of way because you start to say, well, should I be crying like this? Should I be crying like this? Should I be grieving like this? Look, an ex-spouse, disenfranchised grief. People will minimize that. Well, why are you crying? She wasn't your wife. That's your ex-wife that done died. That's your ex-husband that died. I don't know why. I don't even know why you up and up. Whoa, slow your roll. Individuals that you may have history with, that you have spent years and times that you can't change, and when a transition happens, when you lose them, y'all, you can go through grief and know you're not with them and know you moved on. And yes, you've gotten married, or yes, you're with somebody else, but you can still experience grief. And sometimes it becomes disenfranchised and you're scared to express it because people minimize it or they don't understand it. Woo! That's good, and I hope you're being blessed. An old boyfriend, a girlfriend, Alzheimer's. Parents get Alzheimer's. People will say things like, you should still be lucky because your mother is still here. Oh, I know she has Alzheimer's, but you're still blessed because she's still here, right? Disenfranchised grief. And now try to make you feel guilty because they don't have their loved one. You have yours, but they are dealing with a condition, come on, that they're not even really present themselves. And so this grief becomes disenfranchised. Am I ungrateful? Because yes, I do have my father, but he is having dementia or Alzheimer's. Disenfranchised grief. Check this out. A celebrity grieving someone you can't remember, like a parent that died when you were an infant. Now, this is disenfranchised grief. I don't remember. They died when I was little, but now that I'm older and I'm longing for a brother or sister, or I'm longing for a father or a mother, I'm longing for this relationship, and they died before I was born, but I'm longing for it. That my grief is disenfranchised because people will say, well, you didn't even know him. Why are you you didn't even know him? Yeah, that's what happened when Kobe Bryant died. When Kobe Bryant died, the whole nation mourned. When T'Challa died, the whole nation mourned. And people were saying stuff like, you didn't even know him. Why are you crying? So now, am I supposed to be disenfranchised for the simple fact that I still felt connected? I still felt like there was a bond or an affiliation. I still felt like there was a bond or an affiliation. But you're telling me I didn't know him, so I shouldn't be crying or responding the way that I am. And so some of us, we start to bite the bait of the opinions of other people. And we don't know how to process or digest what we're going through because we have not been given a safe space or a safe place to do so. Look, disenfranchised grief is what occurs anytime someone feels that society has denied their need, right, role, or capacity to grieve. That's good right there. Y'all hope you're getting it. That it occurs when society has denied their right role or responsibility or the capacity to grieve. That when society denies that. And that happens in so many cases. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out when you lose a loved one, you only get 3 or 4 days to grieve and you got to come back into work. So I only get 3 or 4 days to grieve. And that's for immediate family. That's immediate. And then I got to come right back in and work. And then society, they have a tendency to downplay certain relationships. Oh, that was a cousin. Yeah, it was a cousin, but it was really more like a brother or a sister. Or your pet dies. Oh, they won't recognize that. You don't get no time off for your pet dying. So here you are trying to teach a class with tears coming down your eyes because society, they don't look at it. What did it say? What's the sign? Denied the right, the role, the need, the right, or role, or capacity to grieve. Your dog died. You really trying to go to Hawaii for a week. You really need bereavement. You need bereavement pay. You trying to see if you can get what they call that? I was about to say PYT. It's not PYT. What is that? When somebody die and you try to get that I forgot what it's called. Help me out. Drop it in the chat. It ain't PYT time. What is it called when you try to get that time off work? Is it FLMA? Is it FLMA? FLMA? You try to get that FLMA. Your puppy died. You try to get FLMA time off work, and the job is not having it. So maybe your grief is disenfranchised because you're listening to a society that says you don't have the right, the role, or the capacity to grieve because they're minimizing what you've lost. Don't let nobody minimize what you lost. I don't care what it is. I don't care what happened. Don't let nobody. Martin's mama's bird died. Martin said, "No, my mama bird. No, that's my mama bird, Gina." Martin was crying. "No, my mama bird." Don't let nobody minimize what you lost. Can we talk about it for a minute? Come on. Number 4. I think we're on number 4. Number 4. PTO. Thank you. PTO. FMLA. Thank you. Number 4, distorted grief. You can think of distorted grief as a type of grief someone is feeling in the case that they get stuck in the anger stage of the stages of grief. Those who have distorted grief are angry at the world, at others, at themselves. There is like a hostility, fighting, and even self-harm happening. In a way, this is a version of complicated grief in which someone gets stuck at a particular point or stage of the grieving process. Anger itself at the death or the loss of a connection is normal, just not for a prolonged period of time, and not in the case it hurts others or yourself. Sometimes the grief can be distorted. Anger is one of those stages of grieving. That's one of those stages. But when you get stuck there, and now you want to harm others, and you want to harm yourself because you've been stuck there for a prolonged period of time, it's distorted, and it's a dangerous place to be, and you got to navigate through that. Come on, number 5. We halfway there. Y'all told y'all we're gonna hold you long. Cumulative grief. Cumulative grief deals with multiple losses in a short period of time. It entails grief overload. I think this is perhaps what Job went through. Job lost his sheep, his donkey, his oxen, his house, his children, the support of his friends, the support of his wife. He lost all of this at one time. And there are a lot of people, there's one calamity after another, after another, after another. And you still trying to process the first one, but can't because the second one didn't happen. And you still trying to think about both of those, but now you got a third one that has happened and taken place. I just got a text alert today, said there was a family in Texas who has lost 6 family members in the last 2 weeks to COVID. 6 family members in the last 2 weeks to COVID. Yeah, the family that's remaining, you know what that is? Cumulative grief. Check this out. Cumulative grief is also grief that builds up over a period of time, likely due to a number of deaths, losses, life events, etc. During the COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, many people are experiencing cumulative grief as the pandemic adds on grief to already existing grievances like losses, family, being in hospice, jobs, losses, and more. There have been so many things that have taken place during this time of the pandemic. That is not just the loss of a loved one, but there's loss of a job or loss of normalcy, a loss of fellowship, loss of contact, loss of the ability to go here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, all of those things piled up during the time of this pandemic, it can lead to cumulative grief. That there's a lot of different losses, not just loved ones, losses, period. People have lost jobs, people have lost houses, people have lost loved ones, people have lost opportunities. There's so much that has been lost. High school students didn't get to walk across the stage last year. They canceled all the spring sports. Can you imagine people who were banking on getting a track scholarship or a baseball scholarship? There have been a lot of different losses that have built up. That's cumulative grief. Number 6, masked grief. Masked grief. Masked grief is grief that the person experiencing the grief does not admit to having, or they mask it. This can be common among men or in a society and in cultures in which there are rules that dictate how you must act or appear following the loss of someone close to you. It shows up in the form of physical symptoms, negative behaviors, people acting totally out of character. It is unresolved grief that can be dangerous. It can cause mental illness and disorders as the person who is grieving does not give themselves the time or space to actually grieve. Remember, grief is normal and it is necessary. And there are so many people that they mask their grief. And this is what's crazy. A lot of people who have masked grief, it comes out in other ways. It comes out in sicknesses. It comes out in illnesses that your stomach is hurting. You don't know why. And you don't had MRIs and belly scans and all this stuff. They don't know what it is. It's grief that's trapped in the body. It's grief. Some people are having headaches. Some people are having all type of body physically ailments. You know what it is? It's grief that's trapped in the body. When you get sick, if you get food poison or you eat something, you know the first thing that your body does, it expels it. It's got to come out. It's foreign. It does not belong here. So the body is reverse peristalsis. You throw it up. It's got to come out because it doesn't belong there. So even when it comes to grief, when you just hold that stuff on the inside and you don't vomit or you don't talk or you don't get it out, y'all, it stays in there and it starts to do significant damage mentally, emotionally, physically, because you are masking your grief. Whether you feel like a man and you was always told that men don't cry and suck it up and get it together, you feel like you haven't been given the space and the place to do so, you haven't found a space or a place to do so. When you mask your grief, mask your mouth, your face, not your grief. When you mask your grief and you don't get it out and it has nowhere to go, it starts to wreak havoc on your body. Come on, y'all. Hang in there with me. Come on. We almost done. Number 7 is traumatic grief. I know you're already saying, wait a minute, Pastor Duncan, isn't all grief traumatic? Check this out. Traumatic grief occurs after an abrupt or unexpected loss. In other words, tragedy is at the heart of it. We are not just mourning the loss, we are traumatized by it, sparking fear, anxiety, and more. Traumatic grief is often the grief experienced by those who have been killed, terrorist attacks, car crashes, drownings, and more. Traumatic grief is, we didn't see this coming. We wasn't expecting this. And it's tragic in nature. The nature of the circumstance is tragic. I just read where I think the 3 kids got hit by a bus earlier this week, and the 7-year-old boy died. Y'all, that's traumatic grief. We were sending him to go to school, and he's coming home, and he's getting off the bus, and now he gets hit by a bus, and he dies. Oh, that's traumatic. That's traumatic grief. I've told y'all my story before about my sister who was getting married and standing at the altar and about to get married. Her heart stops beating at the altar. They cutting her out of her dress and bringing out defibrillators at the altar in the church, shocking her to come back to life, to go to the hospital, to go to brain dead, to die. Y'all, that's traumatic. You're at the altar. You're talking about a couple of forevers. That song wasn't written back then, but y'all know what I'm saying. We about to spend this life together. Traumatic car crash, traumatic grief. Oftentimes we say, would you rather not know somebody gonna die, or would you know? Would you want to know? They got 3 or 6 months, so you got an idea, but you got to sit there and watch them suffer. Versus, I don't want to know. It happens, but I didn't get the chance to say goodbye. I didn't get to have that last conversation. I didn't get to. And sometimes there was a young man, popular. I didn't know him a few weeks ago, who drowned in the Geist Reservoir. A very popular individual in the music field, and jumped in the water to get something and didn't come back up. Traumatic grief. And perhaps some of the things that you're experiencing is traumatic. And it's not just death. It's any type of loss. It's any type of loss. I've seen people renting houses that the owner wasn't paying the money, and all of a sudden they get a knock on the door and said, "You got to move." That's traumatic. So I got to pick up all my kids and we got to get out like now, or we got to get out in a week. And I don't know where we gonna go. I ain't got another deposit. Y'all, that's traumatic. That's a loss. That's traumatic. So many different examples. Come on. Number 8, collective grief. Collective grief is the type of grieving experienced by communities or societies. It is most common, often talked about in regards to a major celebrity's death, but you also see it in a major movement where gun violence spurs action and hopefully change. For many in the United States, there's a massive collective grief that is ongoing due to multiple traumatic and unnerving events that have been publicized, highly publicized. On a world scale, many of us have collective grief around the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 pandemic collective grief. George Floyd, collective grief. Ahmaud Arbery, collective grief. Breonna Taylor. Yeah, you can just go down the list. You can go to collective, Kobe Bryant, collective grief. N'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, collective grief. And it's not just celebrities, and it's not just on a national level. You can have collective grief in a neighborhood. If there's somebody dies in your neighborhood, collective grief. Tornado comes through and tears up houses, collective grief. Something happens in school, that community grief. Somebody, collective grief. A member of a church dies. That is part of the community where this individual spent their time. Collective grief. That is number 8. Number 9, abbreviated grief. Abbreviated grief is a short-lived grief in which the person who is grieving feels like they should or they do move on quickly. You see this with folks who remarry quickly after the death of a partner, for instance, or abbreviated grief does not mean that the person is not grieving. It does not mean that they didn't have a close tie or bond with the person who passed. There can be a number of reasons why abbreviated grief occurs, including prolonged or delayed grief. Sometimes it's abbreviated. Sometimes we've seen it coming. Sometimes you done already grieved, and so when it finally happens, it's abbreviated. It's not that you're not grieving, or it's not that you don't care. It's just abbreviated, and it can be for a number of reasons. Here it is, number 10. Don't go nowhere because I need y'all to do. We got Q&A, then I need y'all to do something. Here it is, number 10. Absent grief. Absent grief is defined as there being no grief in the aftermath of a death or the loss of an important relationship. Many people who experience a ton of anticipatory grief or have been the main caregivers for people may experience this type of grief. It often occurs because the person who grieves so much already, has grieved so much already, or that there's a sense of relief with the grief that can quickly help someone to understand that the person is no longer in pain, that they all did the best they could, and that the time has come to move on. Yeah, there are more than 10, but those are just 10 that I wanted to highlight and focus on today. 10 different aspects of grief. Now, look, I wanted to be this informative, but there always has to be some type of application. Do me a favor, because I'm not going to hold y'all past 8. We're going to be gone in 10 minutes. I do want to answer questions, but I do want to do this as well. You might say, Pastor Duncan, where do we go from here? Where do we go? You done told us about all this grief, and you done got my mind going and my wheels spinning. I done identified a couple of things. I can relate to a couple of things. Man, just don't leave behind dry. Where do we go from here? Check this out. Where do we go from here? Number 1, you got to evaluate where you are. Evaluate where you are. Now, understand, I know you're not a doctor. You may not be able to diagnose yourself, and I don't want you to do that. But in the 10 that we went through, is there any that you identify with? Is there anything you relate to? Is there anything that really spoke to your heart? Did the Holy Spirit speak and say anything? Is there anything that you said, yeah, that one right there? I couldn't put my finger on it, but I think it may be that. I need you to evaluate where you are, number 1. Number 2, envision where you want to be. Come on, Donnell Jones, where I want to be. Where do you want to be? That I know you've gone through what you've gone through. The question becomes, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Yeah, I done left out a whole daggone slide. I got to go back. I'm got to get that. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? I know you don't want to stay like this. I know you don't want to be here. Where do you want to be? Number 3, enlist the people, places, and path that will enable you to get there. Enlist the people, the places, and the path that will enable you to get there. Who are the people? What are the places? What is the path that is going to help you get there? So there you go. You got it. You got to evaluate. You got to envision. You got to enlist. You got to evaluate. You got to envision. You got to enlist. Now, for some of this, when you start talking about the people, for some people, I told you, y'all, I'm trying to be a grief coach. A grief coach is somebody who has, I've done the homework, I've done the study, I got the certification, and there are some things that a grief coach can help you navigate through. However, I'm not a grief counselor. I am not a licensed mental health therapist, right? There are some things. Let me even back it up. Let me back the thing up a little bit. First and foremost, there may be some things that you just maybe need to vomit. You just need to get it out. I just need to get it out. Maybe you've been talking to your barber, your beautician, or maybe you can talk to your friend, a confidant, somebody. There's a safe place and a safe space where you can begin to talk about it, your feelings, where you can process and dodge it. And you might be cool. That might be all you need. You might be cool. You might need to take it a step further. You might be saying, man, I need to talk to my pastor or clergy. I need to talk to somebody to get some spiritual guidance, and maybe that'll help me. That might be all you'll need. You might want to take it a step further and say, you know what? I might need a grief coach. I might need a grief coach. And I understand the limitations. I understand they're not a grief counselor, they're not a mental health therapist, but maybe I'll try grief. It's new. I love what you're doing, Pastor Duncan. This has been very helpful and beneficial. Where's the next one? Maybe I can keep coming to this and it'll help me. Hey, grief coach, maybe that'll empower you. But maybe you need to see a counselor or a therapist, maybe especially if it's some of those complicated, distorted, and you're angry and it was 2 years ago and you're still carrying your pistol, waiting to see him. You know what I'm saying? Let me catch somebody in the street. And if I don't get him, I'm gonna get his cousin, I'm gonna get his brother. Yeah, maybe you need to see a licensed therapist. You need to, yeah. There's levels to this, but you gotta evaluate where you are. Come on. I'm giving you some practical tools. I always do. You got to envision where you want to be, and you got to enlist the people, places, and the path that will enable you to get there. Y'all, if you listen to this live and you do none of this, you have been informed, but faith without works is dead. So I need you to evaluate where you are, envision where you want to be, and who will be the people, where will be the place. I believe in theology and therapy. I believe in medicine and the master. I believe in faith and fundamentals. And there is a faith element to this as well, that God will help pull me through. Yeah, and all of that works together. So maybe the place is church. Pastor, man, I seen it. I jumped on this live and I really ain't been paying attention to church. I really ain't been virtual, but maybe I do need to get in gear and I need to reconnect, because when it was helping me. I was feeling good. Yeah, I really ain't been praying. And yeah, I do. I really do need to pray. So the faith element, maybe that's part of the path, but I need you to do it. I need you to determine, where am I at? Evaluate. I need you to enlist. Look at this. Envision and enlist. Do me a favor. There's one more slide I got to get, but do me a favor. Out of all of those griefs that we just went through, is there anyone that kind of stuck out to you? Drop it in the chat. Is there anyone that kind of stuck out to you? Do me a favor and drop it in the chat. 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 Please, please, please drop it in the chat. And while you're dropping it in the chat, drop it in the chat. There's another element of grief that I want y'all to understand. Man, how come it did not download? There's another element. This is so very important. And this was like my last one. I don't know what happened to it, but this is what I need y'all to get and understand. This is so very important. Don't go nowhere. We're going to be gone. I'm going to answer some of y'all questions. We're going to be gone by 8 o'clock. Don't go nowhere. Page 20. Don't go nowhere because I need y'all to do me a favor too. I need y'all to help me. I got to get this certification. All right. Drop it in the chat. 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 Whatever it was, drop it in the chat. And I'm going to go over this last one with you real quick. Come on, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Okay, check this out. This is so very important, y'all. This is so very important. Check this out. Secondary losses associated with grief. Oftentimes, when people lose someone or something, they lose so much more than that, but we don't think about that. We don't talk about that. Oftentimes, so if you're a widow, you just didn't lose a spouse, you lost the fact of we're a couple. You lost your covering. You lost your protector. You lost your provider. Lost your financial support. You lost companionship. Maybe you lost your best friend. What if you go in business with somebody and your business partner dies? Y'all, you didn't just lose a friend or a business partner, a friend, but you lost a business partner, somebody that you used to seeing every single day. And even moving forward, now I got to move forward and I got to navigate through this, but you're not here. And the things that you did. And so these are secondary losses. Yes, I lost them, but there's so much more that comes along with it. Neighbor. Oh, I lost my neighbor, but there's so much more that comes along with that. I lost my coworker, but there's so much more that comes along with that. I don't want to see nobody else sitting inside her seat. I don't want to see nobody else sitting inside his seat. And the bond that we shared and the relationship, the connection that we had, there's secondary losses as well. These are some other losses that you need to consider. Maybe you had dreams of having a baby, but you're faced with infertility. You're going through grief. Maybe you built your dream home and in foreclosure, you lost it. Guess what? You could be going through grief because of that. Maybe you loved your job, but then you lost your job. Grief. Marriage. Moving, loss of community. Loss of community. You can move to a new community and start going through grief. Miscarriage or stillbirth. Estrangement from family. Loss of hopes and dreams for the future. Yeah, do you understand that if you lose your hopes and dreams for the future, if you envision this, you gonna sing. Eddie Kane was going through grief. Y'all talk about Eddie Kane. Eddie Kane, geek look. Dang, nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. It was loss of dreams for the future. And there's some people that you envision this, that, and the other. You had dreams for the future, and it seems like your window of opportunity is closing or it's closed, and you can't do this, that, or the other. You won't make it to the. I've been a chaplain at Warren for 13 years, and a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to one of the old players. Y'all, he graduated. He went on to Wabash, had a very successful career at Wabash, had a couple of tryouts with the NFL, but then COVID hit. And he had a couple of other opportunities, but he said, yeah, Pastor Duncan, it's time for me to hang it up. I had dreams of going to the next level. I had dreams of going there. But man, I got my degree and I'm working my business. I'm doing it. That's still a process. That's still a loss that you got to navigate through. That you got to navigate through that, because I was expecting this. What I had in mind was this. Now things are beginning to shift, and I need somebody to help me to navigate through this shift. I hope that makes sense, because so many of you maybe have experienced that, but did not know it. Look at this. Loss of a friendship. Loss of a friendship. Grieving someone who is incarcerated. Grieving somebody who is incarcerated. That every night you go to bed, and all you're thinking about is, are they okay? Are they safe? Or this is not what I had planned for my brother or my father or my mother or my child. And so while they're incarcerated, even though you still go about your daily life, there's the element of grief that comes along with that. Loss of physical health. Y'all, loss of physical health. When they tell you can't drive no more. When they tell you got to wear this depend. When your health starts to decline and you can't do for yourself the way you used to. Loss of physical health. Loss of independence. Loss of lifestyle. Feeling failed or abandoned by family and friends and community. So check this out, y'all. This is what we're going to do real quick before you go. I want to answer questions, but I need y'all to do me this favor. I need you to go to cohne.org. cohne.org. And in the left corner, there is a button that says 10 Types of Grief Workshop Survey. This is going to take you all of 3 minutes. You hear me? All of 3 minutes. There it is right there. I need you to run to cohne.org and I need you to take this survey real quick. It's going to take you all of 3 minutes. I guarantee all of 3 minutes. I need you to go fill out that survey. Help me to get my grief certification so that I can continue to offer workshops like this. Workshops like this on an ongoing basis. I don't want you to suffer in silence. I want you to be able to navigate through the pivotal circumstances that you are facing. All right, questions, lay them on me. I told y'all I wasn't going to hound y'all past 8. If you got to go, you got to go. I love you with the love of the Lord. I appreciate y'all coming by. I'll stay here as long as I need to and answer any questions that you may have. But I need you, as teachers would say, your exit ticket, I need y'all to go to cohne.org. It's only going to take you 3 minutes. It's a real quick survey. Please fill it out. Please fill it out real quick. One time for the one time. What questions do you have? What questions do you have? What questions do you have? I'm going back through the questions. Yeah. PTO, FMLA. Yeah. 2020. Yeah. That's me. Cumulative grief. Okay. Hey, Sister Yvonne. How you doing, Sister Yvonne? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Sending love and all that stuff your way. I know it hasn't been a year yet. Not quite. Praying for you as you continue to navigate through that. My Sherry Amore, all of them, 5 of them this year. Amen. God bless you, Sherry. Sister Yvonne says, I would love to know more about the grief coach process. I'm being led to help others in my grief state. Yes, Yvonne, I will send you that information. If you can inbox me your email address, I'll send you the information. I thought it was well worth it to me. The grief coaching process, I thought it was good. It was powerful. It was very informative. It gives you just another level of certification that helps you to be able to do what you just said, help other people in various capacities. And so I've been counseling people or spiritual guidancing people for years. I just want to make sure I equip myself as much as possible so that I can help people, really, really help people. And so that's why I went through it. So I'll definitely get you that information. Therapy helps, and sometimes you may need medication to help in the process. That's right. I believe in theology and therapy. I believe in medicine and the Messiah. I believe in all of it. Come on. Danielle says, anticipatory, mom diagnosed with dementia. Yes. And so look, self-awareness is so important, Danielle. So now even today, just getting this information and becoming more aware of it can help you. Number one, it can help you identify it. If you were feeling something and didn't know what it was, or if you were feeling or experiencing sadness and just couldn't put your finger on it or pinpoint it, now you can say, you know what? I really believe it's anticipatory grief because I'm anticipating what's going to happen. And self-awareness is king. Self-awareness is queen. If you can anticipate it, now you can begin to prepare better on how to navigate through it. Since you have the awareness, now you can say, okay, well, once again, go back. What's the evaluate and enlist? What's the path? Who do I need? What's my team? How do I need to set this up and build this up to help me to navigate through it? So that if I'm having a bad day, a terrible day, or just what comes with dementia, what comes with it, so that it's so very important. Thank you for sharing that. Sister Michelle says several of them. Yes. Still praying for you too. Know that you still experienced the recent loss of your mom. Sister Sweat said masking. Yes. Yes, we will mask and it will stay in there and we will begin to have physical problems, mental, emotional, headaches, throwing up, and doctors to say, we done took MRIs, CAT scans, we done did everything. We can't find nothing because it's grief that I've masked because of the society told me I didn't have the right or whatever the case may be. And so it's important. You got to get that out. It's like, once again, I go back to the illustration, and it may be graphic, and I'm sorry, but it's like vomiting. When something is foreign, you got to get it out. And grief is not foreign. It's natural. It's normal, but you got to navigate through it. I got to talk about it. I got to process. I got to digest. And for whatever that looks like for you, Alicia, I got to process. I got to digest. I got to get it out. I got to deal with it. I can't mask it. And I'm not going to allow society to shish me. I'm going to take this time and this opportunity to make sure what's my path, evaluate and enlist, all of that stuff. Thank you for doing this, Pastor. It is much needed. Yes, we need to learn to process and express grief. And I think that grief is not. Yes, I said my tagline is it's okay to hurt, it's okay to hope, and it's okay to heal. That's what we got to understand. It's okay to hurt. It absolutely is. It's okay to hope. It absolutely is. And it is okay to heal. That's right. It's normal. I love it. Sister Angela said, cumulative and anticipatory. Yes. One after another. And anticipating what's going to happen. I thought I was going to see you this morning, Angie, riding the bike. I don't know if you came or not. Traumatic grief. Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Sister Patricia. Traumatic. Yes, Sister Shine Spells. I won't forget that day, getting that call. And I know it was just 2 years, right? 2 years. Traumatic. Sister Monica, cumulative. One after another. And remember, it does not have to be death. It does not have to be death. It's just loss. And these things begin to accumulate. All of these things begin to pile up. And you got to deal with it. We can't, if we sweep things under a rug, then we have a problematic pile that's waiting for us to trip and fall because it's things that we got to deal with. Let me go back to this because I see two of them in a row, traumatic and traumatic. Depending upon the nature of the circumstances, yes. And then I see 3 more coming, 4 more coming. Yes, 4. So a lot of traumatic, I didn't see this coming. And it's something that, once again, I love saying process and digest. You got to process and digest it. And this is the thing about grief. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. It doesn't matter how long. It comes in waves. And if it's not prolonged, prolonged is like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be in this space by now. But what I'm saying is sometimes it'll come back up. It could have been 10 years ago, and you'd be like, man, they would have been 10 years old. I wonder. Turning 16, man, they would have been getting their license. Man, they would have been 20. They would have been 21. Could have happened when they was 5, and now it's 16 years later. You'd be like, man, they would have been 21 this year. And you imagine they had a cute little baby face, but you imagine what that man face would look like. Hey, the cute little baby face, but you imagine her coming into her womanhood and what that would look like. You can have a moment. A wave can hit you. Those waves hit, y'all. You got to ride the wave. You got to sit in the moment. You got to give yourself permission to heal, to give yourself permission to feel, right? When that wave it can come anywhere. It can come anywhere. I never forget And I'm gonna get to y'all. Of course, I never forget. My father died, and he had been dead for some years. And I was driving down the interstate, and I was listening to the radio, and a Michael Jackson song came on, "You Are Not Alone," and it came on. And at first, I was like, "Oh shoot, I ain't heard this in a while," and I love it. And Michael, he said, "Another day has gone, I'm still all alone. How could this be? You're not here with me. You never said goodbye." And y'all, it jacked me all the way up. Every day I sit and ask myself, how did you slip away? Something whispers in my ear and says, you are not alone. I am here with you. Y'all, boy, that wave, whoosh, boy, that wave came and it hit me driving down the interstate. Even though he had been dead for some years, but I was thinking about him. That song hit, and it was him. You're not alone. That way, and when the wave comes, you got to give yourself permission to feel. You could be in a grocery store and that thing will hit you. You could be in church and it'll hit you. You could be taking a shower. You could be driving down the street. You could be driving your latte. You could be in a movie theater. You could be bowling, and a smell will trigger something. And that wave, whoo, give yourself permission to feel. Ride the wave, sit in the moment, feel it. The only way, when you start dealing with grief, there's only one way: through it. And if you mask, and if you set it off, and if you don't want to deal with it, you don't want to feel, you don't want to go through, it's going to be there. There's only one way when it comes to grief. You got to go through it. Yes. Come on, Sister Yvonne. I just did a list of my secondary losses, losing my husband and my dad. There's so much grief, and so much grief. And that's why, Yvonne, I really wanted to get that out there. And I couldn't let that slide go. There are so many losses. Like you said, just looking at it from a widow standpoint, my covering, my protector, financial, best friend, companion, a partner, all of these other things that are attached to it. And a lot of times people don't, and that's why it can be so deep. And it's more than just, I lost a husband, or I lost this, or I lost that, because it's so many different components that come along with it. Michelle Smith said, masking. Yes, got to deal with it. We can't mask it. It turns into physical ailments. Can't mask it. Disenfranchise. Yes. Disenfranchise. Don't let society tell you can't hit. Look, we don't care what people say. How does it get better? Struggling a lot. Yes, Michelle, when does it get better? I wish I had this diagram. To show you. When and how does it get better? And I'm not even going to say, Michelle, that old cliche, time heals, all that stuff. It's a process you got to go through. And as you evaluate, come on, let's go back. Y'all got that? Make sure y'all go to the website. As you evaluate, Michelle, as you envision, and as you enlist the people, the places, the path that will enable you to get there, that's going to be key. That's going to be key to your growth and your development and your healing. So who are the people? What are the places? What do I need to do? As I said, is it friends? Does that suffice? You need to set up a meeting with your pastor. You know I got you. Do I need grief coaching? What do I need? Do I need to see a therapist? Do I need to see a counselor? Do I need to be a part of a grief group? Or these are things that are the faith element as you continue to go through. And really, it's you feel. Come on, let's go back to this. What did we say? And I know you and your mom was super duper tight. Ooh, I know y'all was tight. Grief is the price we pay for love. It's the price that we pay. And when the love is so intense, and when the love is so great, and when the love, when it was so much love, then the grief seems so intense. But as you navigate through the process, as you navigate through whatever that looks like, whether it's your faith, whether it's counseling, whether it's grief coaching, as you navigate through that process, as you give yourself permission to, and don't get me wrong, it is going to be intense. The grief is hard because the love was hard. Oh, the love was so intense. The grief is going to be so intense. And for you, Michelle, it's still fresh. Oh, it's super duper fresh, right? It's super duper fresh. And so it's the evaluating, the envisioning, and the enlisting of, I think these are the things I need. Yeah, Pastor, I need some prayer. I need that. Yeah, I need to stay connected to God. But yeah, I need a therapist. Yeah, I need a coach. I need people who are equipped to help me to navigate through this because I don't know what to do and I'm just hurting. I don't know what to do. And as you continue to navigate through that path, you'll find yourself in a position to where you not only giving yourself permission to feel, but now the healing begins to take place. The healing begins to take place. And when it's so fresh, Michelle, it's like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's hard to imagine a brighter day, a better day, because it is so intense. But grief is something that you have to go through. And as you continue to go through things like this, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being present in this. As you show up and you experience things like this, where you can get awareness and you can get education and you get some action steps and some things to kind of help you navigate through it. Those are the things that are going to help you be able to navigate through this. Building you a support group. Everybody on here, we started out talking about how many people experience loss. Drop one. Everybody was dropping a one. Have lost someone they love. Everybody was dropping a one. How many people have lost something they love? Everybody was dropping a one. So many people have experienced that you can probably draw strength from as well. Sister Nancy says, yes, ma'am. You are so very welcome, Sister Nancy. Sister Patricia, thank you, Pastor. It's been 1 year ago that I lost my 18-year-old great nephew through gun violence. Needed this word. Sister Patricia, thank you for sharing that. Yes, ma'am. There's other people on here too. Other people similar. So that's how you build community. You build community. Like experiences, we build community. Lean on each other. Help to navigate through this. I'm taking it one day at a time. No 1 year for my daddy, 9 months for my husband. Yes, 1 year for your father, 9 months for her. So you lost two of, I dare say, of the most significant men in your life within 1 year. Yes. Intense. Man. See, so now look, the next show we do, I'm going to have to bring some of y'all on here. We got to bring some of y'all on here to talk. Build this community and help other people navigate through. Person loses spouse, child, parent in a 4-week period. How do they move forward? Yes, you lost your spouse, lost a child in a 4-week period. How do you move forward? Great question. That's a great question. How do you move forward? Because you're going through the grief process. And I want to say this, y'all, there is no magic bullet. There is no magic nothing. There is no manual. There is no guide. There is no, we'll just do A, B, and C. Ain't none of that. And that grief is so intense. You done lost a spouse and you done lost a child within 4 weeks. That's cumulative. That usually if I lose one, I can lean on the other. We can lean on each other, but I done lost both. And so trying to process that. We actually had a member who, well, she wasn't a member here, but her son was a member here. And she lost her spouse and she lost her son as well. Yeah, this whole thing is complicated. There is no, and I would never try to tell y'all like it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. And sometimes situations can be so deep and so complicated that we find ourselves in these particular type of situations. And I would encourage you once again, um, the evaluating, the envisioning, and the enlisted. It's like, yeah, where's my team? Who's my people? I know God got me. God is on my side. But how can I navigate through this? How can I navigate through this pivotal circumstance? Who do I need to surround myself with? Who do I need to sign up to see? What counselor do I need? Because I need all of these wraparound services because I'm about to fall to pieces. And so I think it's really a matter. And I think when God really gave me that, I wasn't just writing it to write it. I think there's so much truth to it because the Bible says we overcome the evil one by the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony. It's the blood of the Lamb, the element of faith that helps us to overcome, but also the word of the testimony. So it's other testimonies or other individuals, other people who help us to navigate through the pivotal things that we face. Sometimes it's just being present. It's just being present. You ain't got to say nothing. They can't fix it. Nobody can fix it, but I can be present. Nobody can snap their fingers and do a step and it's done, but I can be present. So who are those people? What is that support system? What does that community look like? Thank you for sharing that. Yes, I would do that. Thank you so much tonight. I'm so very thankful. Thank you so very much for sharing that. We have to also know that each person grieves differently. Do not allow others to make you feel a certain way if you do not agree the way. Exactly. Do not be boxed in by the standards and expectations of other people. That's a nighttime note right there. Do not be boxed in by the standards and expectations of other people. Yep. I get them when they come. So y'all gotta, that's a nighttime note right there. Do not be boxed in. Do not be boxed in by the standards and expectations of other people. Boy, if y'all follow me, y'all know I'm going to do them nighttime notes. That's good. Yeah, if y'all got to go, y'all can go. I'm going to stay and answer questions if y'all got them. I can't keep this testimony to myself. The Lord has done it again. Click on the name. We long benefits or opportunity to share to others. I don't know what that is. Somebody in here trying to sell something? Oh, no, we're not selling nothing. What is this? Girl, you about to get blocked. You got blocked. You can't be in here trying to. What is you doing? What are you doing, baby? We don't do that. We don't do that. How do you help someone who is in denial? Boy, that is one of the worst rivers to be in. In denial. First and foremost, you got the spiritual aspect. You pray for them. Pray. You can try to get them to see things clearly. You can try to get them to understand. I don't know if it would take an intervention, if you would need to bring other people to have that conversation. I don't know if something is in their blind spot and they cannot see. Ultimately, you got the faith aspect and you got the fundamental aspect. The Bible says if you go to your brother and they don't want to hear you, go get somebody else. If they don't want to hear you, then it's like, man, well, we've done what we can. And unfortunately, that's the reality for some people, for whatever space or place they may be in, whatever they may be dealing with, whatever they may be going through. We got the faith element aspect. We're going to pray for you. But the fundamental aspect of trying to talk, trying to do an intervention, trying to get some people to help them to see. I would even ask to say, whoever it is, who do they trust and who do they listen to? Who do they trust and who do they listen to? And go to that person, not in a manipulative way, but just to explain, hey, this is the situation, and maybe they can have some leverage in trying to help and assist. Remembering grief is nothing but love. That's right. You are absolutely right. Grieving what could have been. That's right. I love it. I love it. Thank you for tonight. Make sure I fill out the yes. Please fill out the survey, y'all. I want my certification. I want to be able to do this for y'all again and again and again and again. Sister Sherry says, OM, That makes me think of my sister every time. Jesus. Okay. Yes, ma'am. What's that? What makes you think so? Your sister, Sherry, if you still here? Miss Shirley, this has been so heartfelt for me. Thank you, Miss Shirley. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I can smell a certain cigar and it takes me straight to the loss of my father. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Smells are triggers. Smells. I can smell a certain cigar too, Miss Kai, and it takes me to Churchill Downs. We went there when we were little. To the horse races when we were little. But that cigar, and it makes me think of that moment. There are certain smells to do. Those are triggers. Triggers. Absolutely. Sister Laverne, thank you for the session. Take care, everyone. Thank you so very much, Sister Laverne. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining in. Yes, we do need a meeting. Yes, Michelle, you already know we can set that up. I got you, girl. Hit me up. You got the number. You got the bat number. Hit me up. Shannon Ward, thank you for joining us. Yes, 40-year relationship. I seen that. I'm so sorry. Thank you for joining us. You can always go back and catch the replay. The survey is right down here. If you see cohnd.org, if you go to cohnd.org, that's where the survey is. 10 types of grief workshop survey. Please fill that out. I'm getting my grief coach certification. I want to be able to give y'all content consistently to help y'all to navigate through whatever grief you may be facing and experiencing. So please do that. Any other questions? I thank y'all for joining in with me. I love y'all so much with the love of the Lord. So glad that y'all are here. For those of you who are still here, if this was good for you, drop a 5 in the chat. If this was good, drop a 5 in the chat. That's like giving me a high five. If this blessed you, if it was good for you, drop me a 5 in the chat, please. I know a lot of people have logged off. I'm just grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for you being here. If this was good, drop a 5 in the chat. If you're still here, drop a 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I see you, Sister Tamika, Brother Kevin, Sister Shannon, Mama, I see you. Sister Sean, thank you. Sister Michelle, yes. Michelle Griever and Michelle Smith, yes. Sister Patricia Thomas, Alicia. Hey, Alicia, I didn't know you was on here. So good to hear from you and see you. I know you working hard, girl. Appreciate you. Sister Monica Douthit, Sister Connie Hall. Yes. Thank y'all. Look, I'm so glad. I hope it's been a blessing. That last slide, one more time, y'all. Y'all see where y'all need to go. Please go to cohnd.org. Fill out it's only going to take you 3 minutes to do that survey. Don't forget, y'all, evaluate where you are, vision where you want to be, and list the people, places, and paths that will enable you to get there. The people, places, and the path that will enable you to get there. Heavy on the people. And as I always say, y'all understand it's okay to hurt. It's okay to hope. It's okay to heal. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Thank y'all for joining me.